Have you ever looked back at a past relationship and asked yourself, was I just being used? You gave her your time, your effort, your love, everything you had, but in the end, she walked away as if you never even mattered. But the worst part, you never saw it coming until it was too late. If you have ever felt like just a stepping stone in someone else's life, this video is for you. Today we are exposing 6 undeniable signs that she was using you, but you were too blind to see it. And trust me, you will want to stay until the very end, because once you recognize these signs, you will never fall into the same trap again. This is not just about realizing the truth. It is about taking action. Because the moment you understand what happened, you take back your power. No more waiting for texts that never come. No more chasing someone who never truly valued you. No more being second choice in your own life. By the end of this video, you will see things clearly. And when you do, you will never let anyone take advantage of you again. Now, before we get into it, I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you were just being used? Leave a comment below and share your experience. Now, let's begin. Sign 1. She only needed you when she was lonely. Imagine this. It is a Friday night and your phone vibrates. It is her. Your heart beats faster as you read the message. Hey, what are you up to? You reply right away, eager to talk. You spend the next hour listening to her. She tells you how lonely she feels, how no one understands her like you do. She says, I do not know what I would do without you. For a moment you feel special. It feels like she really needs you. But then Saturday comes and she does not text. Sunday passes and you hear nothing. You reach out, but she is too busy to talk. The next weekend, the pattern repeats. You are always there for her, but only when she needs comfort. The truth is, she does not love you. She loves the attention you give her. She loves the way you make her feel when she has no one else around. Think back. When she was happy, did she ever make time for you? Did she ever invite you to share in her good moments, or did she only come running when she had a bad day? She texted you when she fought with her friends. She called you when she was bored or lonely. She reached out when she needed reassurance. But the moment her mood improved, she disappeared. Seneca once said, a friendship that can cease has never been real. The same is true for love. If she truly cared, she would have been there not just in the bad times, but in the good times too. A real relationship is built on mutual care, not on one person being a backup option. If someone truly values you, they do not only come to you when they are sad, they want to share their happiness with you as well. But that was not the case, was it? You were always the one waiting. Waiting for her text, waiting for her call, waiting for the moment she would finally see your worth. Deep down, you knew something was wrong. But you told yourself she was just busy. That maybe she was going through a tough time. That maybe if you just kept being there for her, she would realize how much you meant to her. But she never did. Because to her, you were not a priority. You were a convenience. The harsh truth is that she never truly saw you the way you saw her. She used you as a safety net, a place to land when she felt lost. And when she no longer needed that comfort, she moved on without a second thought. That is not love. That is emotional dependence. Now imagine a woman who truly loves you. She reaches out because she values your presence, not just because she feels alone. She wants to share both her happiness and her struggles with you. She makes you a part of her world, not just a backup plan. That is what real love looks like. If this sounds familiar, it is time to open your eyes. You deserve more than being someone's temporary escape from loneliness. You deserve someone who values you every single day, not just when it is convenient for them. Now, ask yourself this. How many times have you been there for someone who only reached out when they had no one else? How many nights have you spent waiting for a message that never came? How long did you hold on hoping things would change? If this feels familiar, stay with me, because what comes next will show you just how much worse it really was. Sign 2. Her love was conditional, only when you gave her something. Think back to your relationship. When did she show you love the most? Was it when you surprised her with gifts, took her out to dinner, or did something special for her? Did her affection seem to disappear whenever you stopped giving? If her love only existed when you were providing something, it was never love. It was a transaction. A real relationship is built on unconditional care, not on one person constantly having to prove their worth. But in your case, everything had a price. If you bought her something nice, she was happy. If you said yes to her requests, she was affectionate. But the moment you said no or did not meet her expectations, she became distant. This was not love. This was manipulation. Imagine this. It is her birthday. You plan everything perfectly. You buy her favorite flowers, book her favorite restaurant, and make sure she has a great night. She holds your hand, kisses your cheek, and tells you how lucky she is to have you. Now fast forward a week. You have had a long, exhausting day at work. All you want to do is go home and rest. But she calls, asking you to take her out again. You tell her you are too tired today, but maybe tomorrow. Suddenly her voice changes. She sounds disappointed. She says, "I guess you just do not care about me anymore." The warmth in her tone is gone. She makes you feel guilty for something as simple as needing time for yourself. This is what conditional love looks like. It is not real love at all. It is a system designed to control you, to make you feel like you always have to give more just to be enough. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And what have your thoughts been filled with? Guilt. Self-doubt. The belief that maybe if you tried harder, she would love you the way you loved her. But love does not work that way. True love does not punish. It does not disappear the moment you stop giving. A woman who truly loves you will care for you, even when you have nothing to offer except your time, your presence, and your honesty. Ask yourself this. Did she ever do something for you simply because she wanted to? Or was there always an expectation behind her kindness? Did she ever ask how your day was? Not because she needed something, but because she genuinely cared. Or was her attention always tied to what she could get from you? Think about how often you tried to meet her expectations, believing that if you just did enough, she would finally see your worth. But no matter how much you gave, it was never enough, was it? That is because her love was never love. It was leverage. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you take back your power. Because the truth is, no matter what you did, she was never going to love you the way you loved her. And that is not your fault. You deserve a love that does not vanish when you stop giving. A love that does not make you feel like you constantly have to prove yourself. Now ask yourself, has someone ever made you feel like love was a test you had to pass instead of something freely given? If this sounds familiar, keep watching. The next sign will hit even harder. Sign 3. She never made real sacrifices for you. Think about your past relationship. Who was the one who always compromised? Who put in the extra effort to make things work? If the answer is you, while she only took without giving, then you already know the truth. Love is not just about saying the right words. It is about showing up when it matters most. It is about effort, about being there even when it is inconvenient. If she never did that for you, then she was never truly invested. Now, imagine this. You have had the worst day of your life. You lost your job and everything feels uncertain. You send her a message, hoping she will be there for you, even if just to listen. She replies, "I am busy," or worse, she does not respond at all. But think about the time she needed you. When she was upset, when she needed support, when she wanted reassurance. You dropped everything. You were there. You always showed up. That was the difference between you and her. She never made real sacrifices for you. She only took what she needed and gave nothing back. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." A true relationship is not about what you can give materially, but about the willingness to be there when it truly counts. Did she ever inconvenience herself for you? Did she ever change her plans because you needed her? Did she ever go out of her way to support you the way you did for her? You can probably count the times she made an effort on one hand, but the times you did, endless. Now picture this. There was a time you were sick. You could barely get out of bed, exhausted and weak. You hoped she would at least check in, maybe bring you something warm to eat, or just ask if you were okay. But she did not. She was out with her friends, laughing, posting pictures online, living her life as if nothing had happened. She expected you to be there when she needed comfort, but when you needed her, she was nowhere to be found. That is not love. That is selfishness. A woman who truly loves you does not just stick around when it is easy. She stays when it is hard. She makes sacrifices just like you do. She understands that love is not just about receiving, but about giving. Not just in grand gestures, but in the small, everyday moments. Checking in on you when you are feeling down. Changing her plans when you really need her support. Choosing to be present because she values you, not because she needs something from you. But she never did that, did she? Because to her, the relationship was not about mutual support. It was about what she could take. The painful truth is, if she never made an effort for you, she never truly cared about you. And that realization is difficult, but it is also freeing. Because now, you do not have to keep waiting for something that was never real. You deserve someone who values your presence as much as you valued hers. Someone who sees you, supports you, and sacrifices for you the way you did for her. Ask yourself this. Were you always the one making the effort? Were you always the one adjusting, compromising, giving more than you received? If so, then it is time to let go, because love should never be one-sided. And if this sounds familiar, stay with me. The next sign will show you just how much worse it was. Sign 4. She kept you as a backup while talking to other men. This one hurts the most. You believed she loved you. You thought you had a future together. But deep down, something always felt off. She was distant, guarded. She never really let you in. And the truth is, she was never fully committed to you. She always had one foot out the door, keeping her options open just in case something better came along. That is not love. That is using someone as a safety net. Think about it. Did she ever seem secretive about her phone? Did she change the subject when you asked who she was texting? Did she act uncomfortable when you were around her in social settings, as if she did not want people to know you were together? Did you ever feel like you had to fight for her attention while she easily gave it to others? If so, she was never really yours. Picture this. You and her are out together, having what you think is a nice evening. But the whole time, her attention is somewhere else. Her phone lights up. She smiles at the screen, quickly turning it over. You ask, "Who is that?" She shrugs. No one important. But deep down, you know that is a lie. You recall the time she told you she was too tired to go out with you, only to be tagged in photos the next day, laughing and having fun with other men. You remember when she ignored your messages for hours but was instantly available for someone else. The reality is, you were never her first choice. You were just the most convenient option at the time. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If your thoughts are filled with doubt, insecurity, and the constant need for validation, then the relationship is already broken. A woman who truly loves you does not make you question where you stand. She does not keep you at a distance while giving her attention to others. She does not make you feel like you have to compete for her affection. Love is clear. It is direct. It is exclusive. If she was always keeping her options open, she was never really with you in the first place. And the most painful part, you probably knew. You saw the signs, but you ignored them. You told yourself she was just being friendly, that she cared about you, that she would never hurt you. But you felt it in your gut. You knew something was off. She may not have physically cheated, but emotionally she was already gone long before she left. That is why when she walked away, she moved on so quickly. She already had someone else waiting in the background. And that is the hardest truth to accept. But hear me now. You are not a backup plan. You are not an option. You are not someone to be used until something better comes along. You deserve someone who chooses you, fully and completely. Someone who is not looking for something better, because to them, you are already enough. So stop settling for someone who makes you feel replaceable. Stop making excuses for someone who never made you a priority. If she was talking to other men while keeping you around, she never truly loved you. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can move forward. Now ask yourself, Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were not the priority? Did you ever get the sense that she was keeping you around just in case? If this sounds familiar, keep watching. The next sign will show just how far she was willing to go to control you. Sign 5. She emotionally blackmailed you to control you. Think back to your relationship. How many times did you find yourself apologizing for something you did not even do? How many times did she twist the situation, making you feel guilty when you had done nothing wrong? This is emotional blackmail. It is not love. It is manipulation. A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding. But with her, it was never about that. It was about control. She knew exactly how to make you feel bad, how to make you question yourself, how to get what she wanted without ever having to ask directly. Imagine this. You have been looking forward to a night out with your friends. It has been a stressful week, and you just want to relax for a few hours. You tell her about your plans, expecting a simple response. But instead, her face changes. "Oh," she says in a disappointed tone. "I guess I will just stay home alone then." She does not argue. She does not forbid you from going. Instead, she makes you feel guilty for choosing to do something for yourself. Now you feel selfish. You feel like a bad boyfriend. You start thinking, maybe I should cancel my plans. Maybe I should stay with her instead. And just like that, she wins. This is not an accident. She has learned how to manipulate your emotions to get what she wants. She does not need to yell. She does not need to argue. She just needs to make you feel bad enough that you change your behavior bisnavi. This is control disguised as love. Seneca once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." But in this relationship, were you really in control? Or was she the one pulling the strings? The worst part is, over time you started to believe that this was normal. That love meant sacrificing your happiness to keep her happy. That if you truly cared, you would always put her needs first. But love does not work that way. A woman who truly loves you will never use guilt to manipulate you. She will not punish you with silent treatment when she does not get her way. She will not make you feel like you owe her something just for living your own life. Ask yourself this. How many times did you cancel plans because you felt bad for leaving her alone? How many times did you give in not because you wanted to, but because you were afraid of upsetting her? That is not love. That is emotional blackmail. Now picture this. You had a bad day. You are stressed, exhausted, and you just need some time to yourself. But the moment you try to take a break, she gets upset. "You never make time for me anymore," she says. "I guess I am just not important to you." Now, instead of resting, you are trying to reassure her. You are explaining yourself, defending yourself, apologizing for something you should not even have to apologize for. This is what emotional manipulation looks like. A healthy partner supports you. She understands when you need space. She does not guilt-trip you for making decisions that are best for you. But she never did that, did she? Instead, she used your kindness against you. She knew you did not want to hurt her, so she turned that into a weapon. And the worst part, she made you believe that this was love. That love meant constantly proving yourself. That love meant never putting yourself first. But love is not about control. It is about freedom. It is about two people supporting each other, not one person using guilt to manipulate the other. Now ask yourself, have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were walking on eggshells, always afraid of upsetting her? Have you ever sacrificed your own happiness just to keep the peace? If this sounds familiar, it is time to wake up. And if you think this is painful, the next sign is the most devastating of them all. Sign 6. She moved on too fast, as if you never existed. This is the moment that breaks you. One day she is telling you how much she loves you. She says she cannot imagine life without you. She makes promises about the future, about everything you will build together. Then suddenly she is gone. And before you even have time to process the breakup, she is already with someone else, smiling, laughing, acting as if you never existed. You sit there, staring at your phone, looking at the pictures of her with him. You ask yourself, was anything we had even real? Because real love does not disappear overnight. Real love does not move on without a second thought. But here is the truth. She did not suddenly forget about you. She did not suddenly lose feelings. She had already checked out long before she left. You just did not see it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." When someone truly loves you, they do not replace you like an old pair of shoes. They do not treat your relationship like it was just a phase. They do not act as if everything you shared meant nothing. But she did. And that is because for her it was never about you. It was about what you provided. The attention, the comfort, the validation. Once she found someone else to give her those things, she had no reason to stay. That is why she moved on so fast. It is hard to accept, but the sooner you do, the sooner you will heal. Now ask yourself this. Did she seem distant before the breakup? Did she start treating you differently, even though nothing had changed on your end? Did she suddenly become colder, more detached, as if she was preparing to leave? If so, she had already emotionally left the relationship long before she walked default away. And here is what hurts the most. You still care. You still think about her. You replay every moment, trying to figure out what went wrong. Meanwhile, she is out there living her life like you never existed. But hear me now. You did not lose her. She lost you. She lost a man who truly cared, who gave her his heart, who would have done anything for her. And one day she will realize that. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually she will look back and see what she walked away from. By then, it will be too late. Because you will have moved on. You will have become stronger, wiser. You will have learned never to give your heart to someone who does not deserve it. And that is what truly matters. Now ask yourself, have you ever watched someone move on as if you never existed? Did it make you question everything you thought you knew about love? If this hit home, it is time to stop looking back. Because the final message in this video is the most important one of all. Final message. It is time to take back your power. You have seen the signs. You have felt the pain. You have given your heart to someone who never truly valued it. But now you have a choice. You can stay stuck in the past, replaying memories of someone who moved on without hesitation. Or you can decide right now that you will never let this happen again. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not the things that happen to you. Accept this, and you will find true strength." You cannot control what she did. You cannot change how she treated you. But you can control what happens next. The question is, will you? Will you let this be the experience that breaks you? Or will you let it be the moment that transforms you? Because now you know the truth. She never truly loved you. She used you. She took what she needed and left. But that does not mean you are unworthy of love. It means you were giving your love to the wrong person. And next time you will not make the same mistake. Next time you will not tolerate half-hearted love. You will not accept being an option. You will not allow anyone to manipulate your kindness. You will demand more. And you will walk away the moment you see these signs again. Because now you know your worth. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a relationship where you ignored the signs? What was the moment that made you finally see the truth? Comment below and share your story, because someone out there needs to hear it. And if this video helped you, if it made you see things clearly, let me know. Like this video and subscribe for more content that will keep you strong, focused, and in control of your own life. Remember, you are not losing anything by walking away. You are gaining yourself back. And that is worth more than anything she ever gave you.